Am I the asshole for leaving my daughter in economy class and refusing to change her seat? My daughter, Meg, 18, is a very active person in social causes. Go to marches, help with NGOs and homeless people. The recent cause she embraced was the criticism of capital accumulation. My husband and I come from a wealthy background. Although our parents don't fully help, we know our privileges and the ease with which we can achieve our career and financial success. But Meg doesn't seem to understand. She often criticizes each more expensive purchase, saying that we could donate this money to people in need. I really understand her ideal, but it gets annoyed all the time and any purchase she's criticizing. What she also doesn't understand is the little of this excess capital of ours. She has the freedom to do all this in time without money stopping her. All the luxuries like iPhone, car and money are given to her so she can walk as she wants, and we agreed to help when she said she would like to take a gap year to delve into the causes. After 3 years without traveling because of the pandemic, we decided to take an international trip. Again, Meg talking about it being an unnecessary expense to go business class and that money could go to other things. She proved her point and we decided to go class save on a 10 hours trip. On the way airport, I talked to my husband that he could go to the gate and I would go to the duty free to see some stuff. Meg butted in and started the same rant again. I was already pretty annoyed about it despite giving her a warning to stop, but I saw that she was going to be on this the whole trip. At check-in, the attendant asked if we'd like an upgrade to executive, and when Meg threatened to start over, I accepted and asked for 2 seats. She was quiet, asking if we weren't going to do it for her, and I was very honest saying that I wasn't willing to spend 10 hours listening to it and I want to enjoy too. She started to say we should all stay in economy and I said no. She got annoyed about it. On the trip, she didn't enjoy anything and stayed on her cell phone. On the way back, I offered to pay hers and she refused. When we got home, she said that we knew that she is financially dependent on us and that we accepted to support her financially and that we refused to upgrade even though she couldn't do it to prove our point. And that we were vindictive for being fed up with her pointing out only the truths, and if we don't like her way let us know and don't punish her. She is giving cold shoulders so far, 5 days later. Am I the asshole? Not the asshole. An absolutely hilarious response. She's 18, she can get a job and donate as much of her money to good causes as she wants to. But she has no right to dictate how anyone else spends their money, even her parents. You could have doubled down on the point by donating the cost of her business upgrade to charity if you wanted to. Not the asshole. Sounds like it's time for Meg to become responsible for her own bills, expenses and finances. Then she can have all the say she wants in how it is spent and what she donates. Am I the asshole for blowing up at my sister after she didn't pick up the cake for my wedding? Throwaway. I, 31, got married a few days ago and that's when all of this went down. I still feel really upset and most people who know of the situation are understanding, but some are calling me selfish and an ass. My sister, Liz, 29, was supposed to pick up the wedding cake and bring it to the venue. She wasn't a part of the bridal party. I wanted her to be my mo, but she refused because she had so many feelings going on, her words. So she wasn't going to come early with them, but she offered to pick it up from the bakery and bring it when they come at the start of the ceremony. We wanted to cut the cake straight after dinner, which would be served after the ceremony and then dancing and drinks later. So many things were going wrong during the wedding planning, so I thought this was the one thing someone would have my back for. During the ceremony I couldn't see Liz or her husband anywhere. But I wasn't really paying attention and I thought they might have just gone out for air or something. The ceremony went well and the caterers were starting to bring dinner out, when I heard that Liz wasn't here and neither was the cake. I tried calling her and my parents also called her multiple times, but she didn't pick up. I guess I was losing my cool a bit because my husband told me to calm down and he'd call the bakery, when they said that the cake hasn't even been picked up. At this time, Liz finally decided to call back. She sounded like she was crying and said she was sorry for not getting the cake. She got caught up with something of her husband. Before I could ask anything she hung up. I was losing my mind at this point. Yes, I know it might seem a bit dramatic for all this fuss over a cake, but I just didn't want to encounter these sorts of problems on my wedding day. We ended up having to delay the cake cutting until right at the end, after a groomsman literally bolted to pick it up, and the bakery was pretty far from the venue too. Mom left after the speeches. I asked her why she was leaving and she said that Liz messaged her and she's going to go check on them. Dad stayed at least, but it still stung that Mom left like that. The rest of the reception went smoothly enough. The next day I messaged Liz saying that she could have at least let someone know as soon as possible that she couldn't attend or pick up the cake, and it would have saved a lot of headache. Mind you, I was very polite despite all the drama she caused. Liz went off at me, cursing me out and calling me all sorts of names. I blew up after that and said that not everything's about her and she couldn't do anything for me in this big moment of my life, and even Mom left for her. My parents are saying that I went overboard and need to apologize to Liz. ETA. I found out later Liz's husband collapsed and was taken to hospital, which I understand, but my point was that she could have at least told someone. Edited for Judgment. You are the asshole. By a Million Miles. Info. What was going on with Liz? You are the asshole. You failed to mention in your post that her husband had late-stage cancer and collapsed. You made it sound like she's some kind of drama queen. So many feelings going on? Really? Her husband is dying. How are you this heartless? Do you really care more about a cake than the health of your bill? Had us in the first half by not disclosing the medical issue part. Tears of joy, tears of joy. Yeah, you're the asshole. This shouldn't even be a question after learning about that emergency. Apologize. You are the asshole. Her husband with sarcoma collapsing and going to the emergency room trumps any wedding any day. Show just an inch of compassion. Unbelievable. Am I the asshole for confirming that my wife comes in second place? My daughter is 14. The divorce between me and her mom is still an open wound, but we try our best to make everything feel as normal as possible with the split. I remarried to my wife Isla. My daughter isn't mean, but she does not view her as a mom, which in my opinion is okay. As long as she's respectful, which she is. They do plenty together, they go out, took an interest in cooking together, watching shows together, etc. I've told Isla to be patient with my daughter. If something is wrong, I'd expect her to come to me and I will talk with my daughter and make sure we resolve the issue. But as far as the harsh parts of parenting, that's up to me. So the other day, my daughter came to me saying she wanted to go to her mother's. I asked why she did because she looked upset. She said to ask my wife. I called her mom and she said she'd pick her up but hasn't heard any issues from my daughter. My daughter's birthday is coming up, we are doing a quince for her. She's very excited. So Isla went to my daughter, saying that she wanted to have a quince, just with us, meaning without her mother or her family. When my daughter said she wanted her mom there, especially because of how big of a deal this is, and Isla was pretty much trying to force the issue and telling her that she can do one here and just as big, my daughter asked why she's trying to leave her mom out of such an important event. And Isla got mad at her for that and accused her of being bratty, and if she wants her mom so bad she should go there. I was so confused because what the fuck? What argument even is that? First of all, there's a reason she went behind my back and told my daughter. Second of all, she's not my kid's mother. And the more she tried to replace her, the more my daughter will resent her. Third of all, she's never welcome to insult my daughter because of her issues, and I don't know where and why she thought this would fly. I told her this, and her argument was that she wanted to be noticed by my daughter and why I care so little about her feelings. I told her my daughter notices her, they go out in girls' days weekly, they go out, watch movies together, etc. My daughter has been plenty inviting to her. Frankly, I'm surprised at how well she's opened up to her, but now she will have to earn her trust back. She again asked why I keep taking my daughter's side and not meeting her in the middle. I told her she's wrong here, simple as that. I could have if she didn't do it like this. I told her that if she expects me to turn on my daughter, she's out of her mind, and my daughter comes first in any situation. She started crying and accused me and saying she's in second place, to which I confirmed. I would never want her to put me over a kid. She left and now isn't speaking to me. I've asked my daughter if this behavior was consistent. She said that she feels like Isla makes it a point to not talk about her mom, but nothing this extreme. Not the asshole. You are an amazing father. Unfortunately, you picked a partner that is too immature and insecure for the role of step-parent. Not the asshole. Your daughter is 14 years old and is showing more maturity for her age. Be proud you helped raise such an accepting daughter. She's behaved with grace throughout all of this. Not the asshole. You're a good parent, Op. Since you haven't mentioned it, I'm guessing Isla doesn't have any children of her own, because she doesn't seem to understand what it means to be a parent. Of course the kids come first. Not the asshole. That's literally your daughter. Your wife thinks she's more important than your daughter? Go 9D God. Not the asshole. Of course your kid comes first. That seems like a no-brainer for any parent. Not the asshole. Your child should always come first. That's your blood and you raised her. Your wife should understand that your daughter will always be number one. Am I the asshole for berating my GF's family when they wouldn't stop being judgmental? Alright Reddit. Here to get my judgment. So I, 26M, have been dating my girlfriend Chloe, 26F, for 3 years. We started out as friends and have known each other since HS. She really is perfect for me in every way. Other than her family, which is the cause for this post. So when we first started dating I was wanting to get married. But about a year ago I switched that up. The reason sounds stupid, but it just caused me to freak out. We were watching this show that talked about divorced men and their struggles. It turned me onto a couple sub-reddits on here about men who got boned in divorces. Whether that be cheating spouses, alimony, or the freedoms men lose when they get married. I sometimes wish I never went down that rabbit hole. But I did, and ever since I've been very clear with Chloe I don't want to get married. I'm fine being life partners. Having kids. All that. I told her this and she was very sad. We did split up for a bit. But she came back and said she didn't mind. She is fine with whatever life we build. So that is what we've been doing. The issue? Her family is nosy as shit. After getting questioned countless times about it we finally sat them down and explained we don't plan on getting married. Her family lost it, saying that I was the one forcing this and bunch of other BS. Her sister especially is pissed. We are at a barbecue this weekend. And sure enough her sister is mouthing off. She is recently engaged and was throwing shade about how amazing it is to be committed. I caught some side glances from her parents. I looked at her and said, if you have something to say go ahead. She said, you just wouldn't understand the feeling. I said, well considering you've been engaged 3 times and married once already. I'm not quite sure you know the right feeling either sweetie. Her dad and mom then butted in saying I needed to take that back. I said, both of y'all have been divorced before. So maybe stop the petty glances and look in a mirror. I was done after that. And me and Chloe left. I know it's not smart getting into with your GF's family. But I feel like they are crossing a boundary and I felt like it had to be said. Chloe is staying out of it mostly. But I want to make sure I'm not the Am I the asshole? Not the asshole for the question at hand regarding her family. Don't throw stones if you live in a glass house or some shit. But as a male whose divorce literally bankrupted him you're dumb as fuck for letting a TV show and some Reddit threads be the reason you're not going to get married. Take the time you need to be sure, but your reasoning is flimsy. For what it's worth I said I was never getting married again. Just hit 7 years with my girlfriend and will more than likely propose in the somewhat near future. Never say never. You are the asshole. Your reasoning for not wanting to get married is completely ridiculous and proves that you are way too immature anyway. What on earth are you talking about when you say, freedoms men lose, when they are married?